Good morning. I hope everybody is well today. This is our day of continuing education. My name is Diana Hinkle, and I'm certainly happy to have you here, and I'm super grateful to be able to be here for you. This is my continuing education to learn more about essential oils and other possible modalities for different issues that you might come up with. And in our world of ever-changing conditions everywhere we are, right, this is super important because I find myself watching movies and looking at commercials like in a completely different way. And it's like, you just need oils. But I realize not everybody understands the true meaning of having essential oils in their home. And this is what I'm passionate about, to help you understand what you could have at your fingertips to help you in not only your wellness, but in other aspects of your life too. And of course, I've chosen doTERRA essential oils for many different reasons. Number one reason is because I know that the company has the integrity of the essential oil, meaning that they are certified pure therapeutic grade, or CPTG, meaning that they go through a rigmarole of different tests to make sure that our essential oils or their essential oils meet a standard of quality. That is super important to know that it's going to be consistent in what it's supposed to do for me, and I know that it's safe, because too many essential oils out there on the shelf, even though they say they're 100%, does not mean that they do not have fillers in there. And a lot of those fillers are highly toxic to not only you, but our pets. And so I definitely want to put that on my kids or my grandkids, because even our pets are our kids, right? A lot of us treat them as such. And that doesn't mean that that's either a dog, a cat, a horse, a chicken. It doesn't matter what it is, even a rabbit. And we want to make sure that they are safe, and we want to use safe products. And doTERRA is all about that. Outside the fact that they are the #1 leading essential oil company in the world, and they did that in 5 years of opening up their doors. That means something. That means that there is an integrity of the product, not just, oh, let's just put it on the shelf out there and make some money. It's a totally different company. So if you really look into doTERRA itself and what we are doing around the globe to help in communities and uplifting people everywhere, you not only would want to be a part of this for your wellness, but a part of being able to help someone somewhere else. So today, I'm going to highlight a product that doTERRA has that we don't really talk about too much. And we have a great spa line. They have everything from supplements to essential oils. In fact, supplements, our Lifelong Vitality, is the #1 product, even though we're an essential oil company. But we have a lot of spa products too, and everyday use products like laundry detergent, hand soap, body wash, shampoo, conditioners, everything that we use on a daily basis, doTERRA has it. And so you can actually, what I do a transfer buy is buy those products you know will help in reducing the toxic load or the toxins that you're exposed to every single day, whether you know it or not. You probably don't know half of the toxins you're exposed to. And what can you do about that? So doTERRA is about a lifestyle change. It's not about just using an essential oil. It's a change in your lifestyle, which means getting enough rest, getting enough exercise, eating correctly, and all of these are different factors in how our body responds and is whether it's well or not. And even with foods, if you think that you're eating really well, you're still probably not as well as you think, because the quality of our foods, whether organic or not, is not the same as it used to be. So unless you can grow it in your garden and go out there and just pick it, then you have some great results from the vegetables and fruits that you actually put on your table. But nowadays, that's really hard to do. So let's talk about doTERRA's Mud Mask. This is truly an amazing product for many different things, right? So most of us women, you know, we want to get rid of the fine lines and the wrinkles on our face, right? Well, that's what the mud mask is for. You only put it on your face 3 to 5 minutes and then wash it off with warm water. And so when you are actually using this on your face, it does not leave your face, it makes it very smooth. It's not going to dry your skin out. And even though it's for wrinkles and things like that, there's more to this product than meets the eye. And another part of your body that we don't think about is your armpits. Okay, now our armpits, especially the left side, is really close to our heart, right? So why are we not detoxing our armpits? What do you use under your armpits? What kind of deodorant do you use? Do you use an antiperspirant, which really we should not be using, because an antiperspirant actually keeps our body from doing what it's supposed to do naturally. And it's supposed to sweat, right? There's a reason for that. So if you detoxify your armpits, then you're going to pull things out that you probably shouldn't have in your body. And this is a very, very light cream. Open this up. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll put it up some on my finger. But this is what it looks like. It's a very light brown, and it's very, very creamy. So even if I wanted to put it on the back of my hands, so how many of you women out there, or men, have hands that are kind of like, you know, really super dry? You could actually put this on the back of your hand and help out your hands. So there's more than just the face, right? Where else do we have that exposed skin that we'd like to detoxify and help it with wrinkles or maybe age spots, things like that? That's a very important part. Now the biggest part of this oil is not just, mud mask, not oil, is the oils that are in it. So we have let's see, this is already pretty much dry. We have several different essential oils inside the Spa Mud Mask. And by the way, underneath doTERRA, you would find this in the spa products. And so I'll read the ingredients. And the number one ingredient is water. And then there's colin, and then there's bentonite, there is glycerin. And then when you get to, you've got Juniper Berry. Let's look at the oils, the essential oils that are in this particular product. So we have Juniper Berry, we have Grapefruit, and we also have Myrrh. And I'm going to talk about those 3 oils, but another thing that's in here is shea butter. You also have chicory root extract. You also have lentil seed extract. And then you have a green tea leaf extract. And all of these are really good to help the skin. Extremely helpful. But let's talk about Juniper Berry. Now, if you don't know much about essential oils, great, because we're going to tell you a little bit about essential oils. Because first off, whether you use them aromatically, topical, or internally. Now, how do you know doTERRA oils you can use internally? Is there will be a supplement backed, and I'm going to use a bigger one so you can see there will be a supplement fact on the bottle, and it actually says that you can dilute 1 drop of essential oil into 4 ounces of liquid. So dilute 1 drop in 4 ounces of liquid. And it has that CPTG, which is something I just talked about, the certified pure therapeutic grade. That's highly important to me. It means that it has met a standard of quality through doTERRA. And they have many, many different tests, and they go through more testing. Every essential oil company out there has testing that they go through. And everybody goes through those same tests, but doTERRA goes beyond that. They choose to go a little bit more. They do like 11 different tests, and then they are always testing prior to bottling, during bottling, and after bottling to completely make sure that nothing along the way has been contaminated.
Zeus, come here.
Part. So let's go back and let's look at Juniper Berry. So this is Juniper Berry, okay? And with every essential oil, just like we have a signature, right? Everybody's unique. Every essential oil is unique, and it has specific compounds or signatures in the oil. Now, what happens with those oils is, like, if there's a, let's take for instance wintergreen. Wintergreen has menthol silicate. It's the easiest compound within that oil to reproduce synthetically. And so because of that, we have like icy hot, Bengay, anything that is that warming or cooling sensation, that is your menthol silicate. So if you ever want that, just use wintergreen, but make sure that you use coconut oil. We like fractionated coconut oil. It's a very important part because it makes it go farther, for one, and it actually enhances the ability of your essential oil. And we love fractionated coconut oil because it's a clear liquid and there's no fragrance to it. And the molecules are small enough that it actually can absorb into your skin very quickly, just like an essential oil. So when we use an essential oil topically, it soaks into our skin within 30 seconds, and it gets within every single cell within 20 minutes, which is phenomenal, right? Make sure that even if you're smelling it, you pull it off and smell it, same thing. Really quick response. So if you've ever smelt that, have that smell and go, oh, that's lovely, it reminds me of something, right? It reminds me of grandma, or when I was a child. There's reasons for all of that. That's why we have our receptor sites. Okay, so Juniper Berry, what is that? So the components in this particular oil, you can use this, by the way, aromatically, topically, or internally. It's an analgesic. It's an antiseptic. But here's something that is really interesting about this particular oil. It has aminoglycan, which is a compound, and that compound, believe it or not, way back in the day, was used for women, for us women who thought we had conceived early on, and they would give you juniper berry to help the menstrual flow, or in other words, to help eliminate your conception, which I think is really interesting. So it helps in the blood flow through the pelvic and the uterus, and it stimulates the menstrual cycle. And so because of that, if we didn't want to be pregnant, that juniper berry is what was given to us. So that's really an interesting analogy, because they used to hide it as the herb that would just stimulate the blood flow. Well, so because of that, they would give you that to help you in a contraceptive. That's kind of interesting, right? So juniper berry is very good for us. So when we're using the mud mask, not only are we getting the benefits of the mud mask, but we're also getting the benefits of aromatic. So the chemical compounds, it has an pinene, which is it helps in restoring the value or us in our fears. It keeps that irrational fears and those reoccurring nightmares. So if you're someone or you know someone that is like, especially like those night terrors, Juniper Berry can be a really great benefit for that. And you can use it either way. If you've got a diffuser in your bedroom, that's a great way to get that smell in there, especially during the nighttime, because you want to help keep those night terrors away. And Juniper Berry is phenomenal for that. It's also one that helps detoxify the kidneys. It's also good as part of a diabetes protocol. It also can help with kidney stones. It can help with urinary tract infection. It's also helpful for high cholesterol. It's another, if you know of anybody that has tinnitus, so which is like the ringing in the ears, Juniper Berry can be good for that. And just apply it behind the ear. Or whether maybe it's chronic fatigue that you're dealing with, you can put it on pulse points, which it would be like your pulse here, right? You can apply 1 or 2 drops with that Juniper Berry. Now with your kidneys and your or kidney stones as part of a diabetes protocol, you'd want to take those daily, 1 to 2 drops every day. So Juniper Berry has a lot of benefits, which is in the mud mask. That's its #1 essential oil in there. And then from there, oh, by the way, it can also help with bloating. It's really good for tummy issues as well. Or like menstrual cramps. How many of you women out there get menstrual cramps? When you look at the emotional side of Juniper Berry, this is what I like. This is one of my favorite things, is looking at the emotional side. So Juniper Berry, the negative emotion is if you're terrified, fearful, or have nightmares, okay? So what it does for the opposite, it helps promote positive feelings and being protected, courageous, and dreaming, but dreaming in the right way, not the wrong way, okay? So if you look at that benefit alone, just what is happening to your body when you're using the mud mask that has this in there, because just because you're using it as a mask on your face, you're still getting the benefits of the essential oil, okay? Whether you put it on your face, your armpits, back of your hands, on your belly, I don't care where you put it, or even the bottom of your feet, it's still something that you're getting the benefit of those essential oils. So now the next one is grapefruit. What does grapefruit do for us? Well, grapefruit, of course, is a diuretic, and grapefruit is one of those that we can use for when we're wanting to lose some weight, because it has that ability to help us in our metabolic system. There you go. I get it out there. But when you look at the grapefruit in itself, it's an anti-infectious, it's a digestive, it's a tonic, it has a D-limonene. So if you really get into the science part of that, you'll know what that is. But D-limonene, it has monoterpenes. So it's very uplifting when you look at those. And it's also on the emotional side, it's for accepting the body as we see. So it really makes sense to put this particular oil for the benefits emotionally from grapefruit, because we're putting this on our body because we want to make ourselves look better, right? That's our #1 reason for using the mud mask. Help get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles on our face. And so grapefruit being the oil to recognize the body and help us feel better about ourselves. I can't imagine another oil in there like that. And so grapefruit on the emotional side, other part of that is, you know, that when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we don't like what we see, or we have that obsession with food, or we're trying to quote diet, you know, what is diet? I don't like that word because it just most people, it doesn't mean, it's not the right word to use. So on the positive side of this, using grapefruit, we're looking for body acceptance and respect for our body so that we can meet it where it's at, right? It's accepting our body where it's at. And that's such a huge part of whether we're trying to lose weight or if we think that we're in that starting in a depression, or maybe we do have depression. Grapefruit is huge oil benefit to using the grapefruit essential oil. You can drink it in your water, so you can use it all three ways: aromatically, you can use it topically, and you can use it internally. Okay, a lot of people will put it in their water and drink it that way. But what I will tell you is be very careful about what you put your water in and when you use an essential oil. Make sure that if you're putting it in any plastic, that it's the higher grade plastic. You don't want a number one, like your plastics for your bottled water, because it will pull the petrochemicals out of the plastic. Well, it does not do that when you drink it in your system. It doesn't do that. So if you are looking to use an essential oil in your water, make sure that you have a high grade plastic or use glass. Number one thing is using glass or metal so that it does not pull petrochemicals. And if you don't know what petrochemicals are, I would really encourage you to look that up. So you can drink this, you can detoxify your digestive system. You can apply 1 to 3 drops in your water and several times a day. It's helpful for weight loss, like we were saying. You can apply like 10 drops and use that with your fractionated coconut oil, and you can actually put it where you want it to get rid of some fat. So like under the arms, you know, we have the flab, or maybe we have a higher, bigger tummy. We don't want, just apply it during the day in those areas. That will help in deflating your fat cells. If you have a smoking addiction, this is a great product to use, essential oils. You can actually put it in your water, 1 to 3 drops after meals, because isn't that where, if you're a smoker, and I'm an ex-smoker, you're either going to, what's the number one time that you're going to light up a cigarette? As soon as you're done eating. You're going to go outside and you're going to light a cigarette up, right? It's not about boredom at this point, it's just an addiction. You also have it, you can do antiviral support. You can put it on the bottom of your feet, or still, again, put it in your water. It's an appetite suppressant, so that's why it's super great, super helpful for us that want to lose a little bit of weight. It can help in whatever other aspects we're using in order to create that weight loss. It's really good for gallstones. So how many people do you know out there that end up with gallstones because of the foods that we eat, or the diets that we, the bad habits of eating out all the time, eating too much sodium, you know, and other factors. They end up with these gallstones, and then they have a doctor that suggests they take their gallbladder out. Well, if you take your gallbladder out, then your liver has to work overtime, and it's doubling up on everything. So really have to be super careful, and especially if you've had your gallbladder out, there are things that you do and you don't do, and foods that you eat and that you don't eat. You really have to watch what you're doing. So if you can eliminate your gallstones and not have to have the elimination of your gallbladder, that's a big thing in my book. And we can cook with your grapefruit and make it into whatever we want. And you know, you can do a skinny wrap. You can actually do a wrap. So what you do is you can take like, and I'll put this in there in the chat too, but you take like 20 drops of grapefruit, 20 drops of metabolic blend, which is called Slim and Sassy, 15 drops of cypress, 10 drops of lemon, and then 10 drops of detoxifying blend, which is your Zendocrine. That's with a Z. So Zendocrine, and about 45 drops of fractionated coconut oil, or about a quarter. When you put all that together, you can actually put that on your tummy and wrap yourself with plastic wrap. Yeah, it's a true thing. You can actually help you in detoxifying and help you lose a little bit of that belly fat if that's what you would like to do. There are wraps that you can purchase online, and you can actually use that particular protocol. So it's 20 drops of grapefruit, 20 drops of metabolic blend, which is your Slim and Sassy. You have 15 drops of cypress, 10 drops of lemon, 10 drops detoxifying blend, which is Zendocrine. Z-E-N, okay, D-O-C-R-I-N-E. And you can do this when you are wrapping with the plastic. You want to have that on there 1 to 2 hours. It does not take just 15 minutes. So if you've got time to do that, go for it. It's great. And you can probably Google it online too. Okay, so that's grapefruit. Now, one other oil in here that I want to highlight, and that's myrrh. Oh my gosh, myrrh is another one of those that's extremely helpful for us in many, many, many different ways. And myrrh is just kind of a right down from frankincense, okay? Myrrh has antimicrobial properties, it's another antiseptic, it's an astringent, it's a really, really great product. Again, it's also another one, just like frankincense, myrrh is another one of those that's really super helpful for those fine lines and wrinkles on our skin. And if you come from, if you're Asian or come from a different country, you probably already know that a lot of you like the frankincense on your face. So myrrh is very similar. It's a resin, just like frankincense. And it has lindestrine, which is a compound, and it's like esters. It's very soothing and it's very giving, and it's very nurturing. So if you look at frankincense and myrrh, which frankincense is not in your mud mask, but frankincense is for harmony or with your father. Myrrh is to nurture with our mothers. Okay, so there's the really thing. So if you're religious and you know or you heard the Christ child who received frankincense and myrrh and then gold, okay, there were reasons for that more than just because back then essential oils were highly prized, more so than gold. So now you know. Frankincense is to have that tie with your father, and myrrh is the tie with your mother. Okay, so very trusting, very safe. It's what myrrh will give us. It's really good for gum disease, okay, and issues like that. So you can actually put a drop with this or put a little bit with your toothpaste and brush your teeth with it. Or you can use it as a mouth rinse. You would swish this around with water in your mouth, 1 to 2 drops, and it's really good for the mouth properties because it's an antimicrobial, right? And our mouths are the #1 for bacteria. They're worse than a dog bite or any other bite. Human bite's the worst. And after 30 years in the dental field, you learn some few things. And that's where I came from. It's also good for thyroid support. You can actually rub 1 or 2 drops right directly over the thyroid, okay, to help in bringing out toxins. When we do things like that, sometimes what happens is because we're drawing out toxins, our skin is our chimney, and so we could show up with a rash, okay? That is not an allergy reaction. Just telling you. It's either one, it's either a sensitivity, or two, it's drawing out toxins from within that organ. Try to get yourself through it, okay? It will go away. If it gets too bad, then stop, okay? And make sure that you're using the fractionated coconut oil with it. It will really be super helpful. But if it gets to the point where you can't handle it, just totally stop and let it dissipate for about a week and then start again, okay? And if you do it again, repeat that cycle, because eventually you'll draw everything out to where you don't have that rash. It won't continue, okay? Well, that's just a little disclaimer there. We're not here to treat, cure, or diagnose anything. So this is something I want you to be very aware of and be cautious about. If you are truly allergic to something, and it could be like with the mud mask, anybody could be, right? Because nobody knows until they actually experience something before they know if they're truly allergic to something. But typically, people are not allergic to the essential oils because they don't have the allergen part in there. So if you truly know what the essential oils are, they're derived not from the pulp, and they're not derived from, it's an extract of flowers or of bark and of seeds. It's not direct of. So there's a process there. And typically you're not going to have that allergic reaction. But if you do, please quit and go immediately to your doctor or call 911. Now, myrrh, another way of using myrrh is for anxiety and depression. You can actually just inhale the oil. So what you do is, and it's because it's a myrrh, because it's a resin, it's thick. It's like having syrup. If you ever have that syrup bottle and it's all over it, and what happens to the lid, it gets kind of stuck. So you can kind of see how mine is. So you just take the lid off and you actually inhale, okay? And do that. You can either do it that way, or you put a little bit in your hand and then make a fist, kind of like, and cup over your other hand like this, and then inhale, okay? It's another way of helping for bronchitis. Now we have another product called Breathe, which is really good, doing the same thing for respiratory support. But Myrrh is another one of those that's really good for that. And it's also good for bronchitis. You can apply 1 to 2 drops on the chest. Again, helpful to use your fractionated coconut oil, especially because this is a very thick oil. And then you can diffuse it in a diffuser. There again, especially at nighttime, if you are, and during the day especially, as much as possible, get this around you so that your body can get ahead of the game and actually get over whatever is ailing you. So again, because this is in our mud mask, it's really good for the skin, like eczema, anything like that, or any infected areas. You can also use it for that. But it's also good for our fingernails when we get the fungus underneath there. How many of you women, I don't go very often, but how many of you women go in there and have your nails done, and then you've got your fake nails on top of your nails, and then you get a fungus? This is really good or you get an infection around that, right? Myrrh is one of those that you can apply, and it'll help in reducing that affected area. Again, it's something that myrrh can be used in the mouth. You can put it with your toothpaste and brush your teeth that way. Add it to the toothpaste. If you're pregnant, be cautious when you are using this one while you are pregnant. Not that it's going to harm pregnancy or the baby, but we want to be mindful of whenever we're pregnant with this particular one. It's also good for stretch marks after we've had our babies born. So there again, if you have the stretch marks, try applying the mud mask, okay? It'll help reduce those stretch marks. And if you've got any kind of gingivitis in the mouth, it's really good for that as well. You know, like the bleeding of the gums, it'll help in creating a better environment for that. And I'll tell you, you know, even my husband, coming from the dental profession, that he had some really bad dental issues, and he totally got better, and amazingly enough, that his hygienist, who had been doing this for years, and I knew him, thought that he had measured his pocket depths wrong after just using our doTERRA toothpaste for a while, which has a blend called On Guard in it, and which is clove and cinnamon and a lot of really nice wild orange and citrus. And it was so funny because he did that 3 times. We measured 3 times because I asked him to. This was a long time ago. My husband wasn't too happy about it, but I was, because all of his numbers were greatly reduced. And I'm like, that's awesome. And all he did was the toothpaste. So if you've never tried our toothpaste, you should try our toothpaste. So anyway, back to the mud mask. So I hope that you get the idea that there is a whole lot more involved with this particular product than meets the eye. It's not just a detoxifier for our face. Think about the areas of concern that you would have those stretch marks, or you have some, you want to do some toning, okay? This is a product that you could use, and you could add more to it too. So when you take some out, you can add another drop of myrrh, you can add another drop of grapefruit, whatever you want. You can use this as your carrier versus the fractionated coconut oil, because it's still going to soak into the skin, that 30-second rule, and you're going to get the benefits. So treat it kind of like a lotion, but it's going to dry and you're going to rinse it off. And know that your essential oil is going to soak into your skin very quickly. So that is our mud mask and I hope that you get a lot out of this. When we start using essential oils and you realize the benefits that you have behind essential oils, that's where people usually want to purchase. And I'm going to tell you that there are 3 ways through doTERRA that you can purchase. Now, of course, the first way is retail, and retail, I'll tell you, friends don't let friends buy retail. Totally don't, okay? Because I don't care who you are, even if I've never met you, you're still my friend. If you're watching this video, you're my friend. So you can buy retail, but I really want to help you save money, and you can buy your products at wholesale by being a wholesale customer. And that does not mean that you're doing what I'm doing, because I am building a business, but only if you want to become a wholesale customer. You can still receive 25% off retail prices just like I do, but I go beyond that. I purchase below wholesale, and that's a no-brainer. Who does not like to save money? Wait, maybe there are some of you out there, I don't know. But I like to save money, and I buy my products below wholesale. So get with the person who has shared this video with you and find out more. If you need to find out more and don't have somebody that you can talk to, please reach out to me and I'm happy to help you out. It doesn't matter if you're clear across the country or in another country entirely, I can still help you. So reach out to me at Heaven Sent Oil, that's HeavenSentOil, Heaven Sent Oil @gmail.com, and I'd be super glad to help you out. so that you can get the best pricing. I meet here every Monday at 9 a.m. on Pacific time. And if you would love to have the live or replay links, then you can text the word, the @ Heavens Oil, that's HEAVENSOIL, and text that to 81010. So again, that's 81010, and you text the word, the @ Heavens Oil, and you will get the live and the replay links directly to your phone. You can add your email address if you'd like. And so you can also you go to YouTube on my channel under Heaven Sent Oil and Diana Hinkle, and you will find me. And I don't have a whole lot of them because I just started uploading them to YouTube not too long ago, but there's going to be something valuable there. So every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I hope to see you here. And if you've watched this replay, thank you for watching the replay. And then we will see you next week at 9 a.m. Thanks for being here and thanks for joining me.
Bye.